I'm Katie Scott, and I have a blog called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking. I'm an avid scrapbooker, and there's a commercial going on YouTube. Hold on. What this is. Not watching the Grammys tonight. My family's watching The Simpsons, which I do not approve of, but it's their bonding time, so while they do that, I get a little time in here, and I just did a Ustream video chat on Big Picture classes, and I type really fast, so I was all over the message board, and I got some questions and wanted to kind of just follow up on those, and also digest all of the kind of things that we were talking about, because it was scrapbooking fun. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. I might actually do and show a few things, but it'll probably be mostly talking, so if you have something else to do while you're listening, think of this as a podcast. Okay, so let me see if I can get back to that other place where I can see the... Okay, I'm back at the chat. I don't know if I can see the entire chat. Darn it. I don't think I can. But it's so sad. I cannot do what I intended. It's like, maybe I can. Okay, so like one of the questions was, someone asked, how do you sort all of your digital photos? And there's a couple ways to do that. But I, on the message board, recommended a woman named Kayla Lamoureux, and I'm not exactly sure how to find her, but I know she's been a guest on the Paper Clipping Roundtable, and I'm pretty sure she's been a teacher at Big Picture Big Picture classes. Yeah, Kayla has a class, someone says Kayla has a class called Finding Photo Freedom. I almost think that's the name of Stacy's class, but who knows. She went through LOM and developed her system, and she, like, from what I understand, she actually has like the instructions for every different photo management software program that you can have. Personally, I use Picasa, which is through Google, and it's totally free. And I also do my video or my photo editing for the most part in Picasa. I have a PC. I'm a fan of all things Mac, but I don't, for the office we use PCs, so I'm more familiar with PC than I am with how Apple computers work. So I use Picasa, and I love it. Works really great, and it's totally free. So I highly recommend that. And then what I do is I just will create folders, one for each month. So I'll do like, I'll label them 2012. I wonder if I can move this. You might lose me. Let's see. Hold on. This camera is far from perfect. We have a better one. We actually are using, speaking of eye products. Okay, so here's my, you ready? I don't know if this is working. Yeah, speaking of eye products, we have an iPad that we actually use to, so I guess you can see this, but I categorize things by like 2012 February, and then any projects that I'm working on, like Project Life 12, which is that Stacy Julian class that I'm working on, 2012 scrapbooking.
Do you have any paper?
I do.
How come you can't see yourself?
Because I'm showing them about how to organize pictures. My one little word, move more, eat less, which I have been very negligent in that class. And then there's January 2012. And the reason I like to put the 2012 first is that way, like all my 2011, just a moment. What kind of paper would you like?
Cardstock.
Well, why don't you use some of this? I don't have a lot of cardstock left. That's typing paper. You have several pieces upstairs. Just a minute, I'm making a video. I'll get it. The girl knows good paper. I have to give her that. All right. Hold on. Here you go. See you. Okay, so the reason I like to do the year first is that way you can then like have your folders kind of categorized by year. Like all the 2011s are under 2011, 2010. And I've been using this system for, let's see, 2007. And I wasn't 2006. It's been a while. 2003, 2002. So I don't know, but it's comprehensive. And then I use an external external hard drive is what they call it. Let's go back to here and see. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can or not, but I am no expert on storing digital photos, but I think I do a pretty good job of keeping track of everything. Let's see. Ta-da! But I'm kind of bummed that I can't go through some of those thoughts because a lot of, some of these, Let me just see if I can go back and see. I don't think there's going to be a transcript yet. So darn. I can't even remember what we talked about now. But couple things I guess I can tell you about. Weird. Well, okay, so a couple things I'm thinking about are this. I took a class last summer on just gonna be more even, on improvisational comedy. And I don't think I'm particularly funny. Although I crack myself up, but I'm not. I'm not quick with the one-liner usually. And that really, I don't know. I don't even know why I just took the class on a whim, I guess. A friend of mine was teaching it and kept asking me to take it, and I was like, couldn't think of another good excuse not to take it, so I said, okay, and I took it. And I don't know, probably like halfway, it was a 6-week course. It was like 3 hours every Saturday for 6 weeks. And I think that type of a class is hard to translate into an online situation. But maybe, I don't know. What I've been kind of thinking about is how do I translate that class into scrapbooking? Because halfway through taking that class, like this light bulb came off and I like stopped the scene and like went over and like started furiously writing things down because I was just thinking like all of the concepts that we're learning here can so be applied to scrapbooking or any creative process. And so the teacher and I have talked a lot about that, and we're developing a concept for improvisational comedy principles as applied to starting a business. But I would love to start something. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm not sure if that's a book, if that's a class, if that's a workshop. I don't know yet. But how to take those concepts from improvisational comedy and apply them to scrapbooking, because that's what I've been doing for the last 8 months, and that's how I've been so prolific with creating scrapbook pages. And it's been so exciting because it's like I'm learning this new thing, and then I think when you're learning something new, you're all the pathways in your brain, and there's like scientific research on this. I even looked it up. But and I sent an email to my improv instructor, so I know I've got it somewhere. But when you're learning something new, anything new, then all these other connections in your brain start, and then you're instantly more creative. So someone during that chat asked, how do you keep your inspiration going, and how do you have 2 kids, have a business, be a full-time worker, and we don't even have anyone helping us. We barely we don't have a babysitter. Like we're really doing everything ourselves. And so there's a lot of jobs that I do, you know, and there's a lot of things that I need to do, but I still am able to and still have the passion for and excitement for scrapbooking, and really feel like it's this huge part of my life that helps me in all the other parts of my life. And applying those concepts of improvisational comedy to scrapbooking have just kind of like made it like totally just become more fun, easier, and faster, and just it's been exciting, and it's been in this process. I don't know what my point was, except that that's something that I am developing, and over the next week we're going to be making more videos, and what I may do is maybe take some of the concepts and have an exercise so that you can play along and say, here's the improvisational technique. This is what you do in the scrapbooking world. You know, tell me what happens. And it's a concept that I'm still working on. Okay, so that's pretty abstract, right? I made this today. Made a little video about that. And the circles. One concept, I'll just say this. Okay. One concept of improvisational comedy is what they call to pile it on. So if you are in a scene, like just think Saturday Night Live, right? And then there's a weird thing about someone, or somebody starts picking on someone else. Then everybody else in the scene starts doing that same thing and starts just piling it on. And so if you just take a concept like circles and pile that on and just continue to use that same theme in scrapbooking, then you will find, by placing that boundary upon yourself, you'll become more creative. So I know that probably sounds really abstract, but it just has sparked my creativity in ways that it's just been amazing. So I want to like share. I want to tell. But seriously, probably not very good video. What else? I wish I could get to those questions, because there was like all this stuff we were talking about CHA and I don't know, Lane Eamon's load class and all sorts of things, but the chat is just totally gone. So, oh well. My original plan for this video is. But stay tuned. I will have more interesting things and actually more quality video to come in the pretty near future. Okay, I can. You know what? Let's improv it right now. Okay, this is one thing that I do to get myself scrapbooking like quicker. I did a bunch of scrapbooks of a lot of the CHA layouts that were made for the Craft and Hobby Association show. So what I would do is find a layout and then like basically copy it, but with my own stuff that I already own, so not the new stuff. So there, and these were from the inspiration came from the Bella Boulevard layouts. So there's one. Here's another one. These are not Bella Boulevard products. They're just inspired by those pages. So I've got 3 of what I call half-baked pages, right? And now, one of the scrapbookers on the chat that I was just on was saying, like, what do? You get in your scrapbooking room and then you're like, what do I do? How can... And I totally get what you're talking about, because I have that too. I'm going to just try to get you to a place where you can see what I'm doing. So excuse the really bad video. My sweet husband has offered to be my video dude for weeks, so my videos will improve. I think you can see me. Yes. But right now I'm I'm winging it by myself. And now we always say, since I took that improv class, we're always saying like, that's so improv, you know, when we do an improv technique. So, trying to see if I have a, I don't. Oh yes I do. This is a great thing. This is one of the things Stacey Julian recommends, is just like keep a timer in your creative space and just set the timer. So you know you have to do something. And since I'm going to be talking, I know it'll take me longer than 15 minutes, even though my page is kind of half done. So I'm going to set it for 20 minutes, but I'm going to just put this in the other room so it's not freaking me out. So 20 minutes. Okay. Next step. I'm going to just choose the base of my page. Right? So I have 3 here. I'm just going to choose this one. So that's done. One improv concept is fully commit. Like, just think Jim Carrey, you know? Or think Will Ferrell. When they're doing a movie or a skit or whatever, they are like so into whoever they are. And that's just like whatever your choice is, don't think twice about it. They talk about this even in, you know, in college and law school. You know, when you're taking an exam, especially like the bar exam, it's so improv, right? You go with your first gut, and then you do not change your mind. So the bar exam is like this time pressured test, and you have to just be going with your gut every single time, or you're not going to get through that test. You just have to, you know, go with it. So the concept is fully committing. So I picked this page, I'm not changing my mind. Okay? Done. Now I need to select some photos. So a couple places I can look for photos are storage binders or photo albums. This is my like library of memories storage binder. These are my most recent pictures. We've been on a couple ski trips this year, so I'm feeling really lucky about that. Like totally awesome. And then the other one that I have just out, so I'm gonna fully commit to one of these, is a time when it was in 2005. We were redoing our house. I had 2 kids like that were like 1 and 3. I had no time. But I was buying scrapbooking supplies, and I was occasionally making a page. And I was really not getting a lot done back in those days. But so I would do a lot of photo albums, scrapbooks, and this is barely, I mean, this is not decorated at all. It's basically just a photo album, and that's okay. But now I can go back to that and kind of find stories that I want to tell now about then. And that's totally cool too. So let's look at that one first. I have some pictures from Lowry Park Zoo. We have one of my husband and I. Have redoing the house. Pumpkin patch. That's a funny one. As I'm looking for inspiration. There's my son standing in front of a cruise ship in Tampa called Inspiration. I think we actually went on that boat. Charlie and I did several years ago. I think that was the one. Pictures from the aquarium. Baby pictures of my daughter. So cute. She was so cute. So cute. Pictures of me with 2 strollers at a theme park. That's funny. Pictures of Mac playing with a door. Pictures of art. Pictures of our house midway through. This was a funny one. It's Mac pushing Allison in a stroller. And just tonight we went to you can't see me, but we went to a park and he was giving her a piggyback ride. So this is kind of cute. Her sleeping in a stroller with a binky. Snakes. So what I'm looking for in this old one is I'd like to connect it to something maybe more recent. A dog. And so far nothing is striking me, but I am going to find something, for real. And it's going to be good. The park, probably like, that's the park we were at tonight, but I didn't take any pictures tonight, and I know I don't have any pictures of that park in here, so I'm not going to go with that at this time. Let's see, trains, Thomas the Train, the time that our roof leaked, lots of stroller pictures, building his big boy bed, bottles, eating, tricycles, oh that's so cute, building, nothing is really like kind of striking me at this point. And I want to get to that place where I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. And so far I'm not having that moment. Okay, maybe this. Okay, this is like kind of a stretch, right? But there's a couple pictures here of my daughter. And she's like in this little plastic container, which is pretty tiny. And my son, I also know that I have pictures of him in here. Here's where I'm getting the story. Dun, 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 let me find it. So my son thinks it's pretty funny to get into some kind of container and ask me to take his picture. And then my daughter kind of like monkey see, monkey do. So that's kind of the theme that I'm thinking about. Like how she will do what he does. You know, like she kind of looks up to him and does. And I have pictures of them, her with the door. I'm not going to go with the door. I'm just going to go with the little container. Can you hear them? They're the loudest children. Holy smokes. Let me see. Okay, so I'm trying to find this, and I'm trying to find it quickly because I want to like get some. One thing is in improv is that you have a short deadline, so you don't want to like linger on this too long. But I know I just passed the. Here we go. It's a black. No. Huh. I thought I just went by it with my son in that thing. Oh, goodness sakes. I could have sworn. Okay, so this is frustrating. Because now I kind of know, it has a little spark for my story. But I'm not able to find the picture that I want to find. And I really thought it was in here. Okay, I have another idea though. I got a little picture of my son with drums from when he was tiny. And I don't think you can really... Is it weird that you can't see my head? I don't know. So if I cannot find the container pictures, which I really thought were in here, totally thought were, I'm just looking one more time. And if I don't find them, moving on. That's so weird. Huh. Anyways, it's good to, once you get that little spark, say like, oh, that's the story I want to tell. And so it's frustrating when you then can't find the picture that you want to find. And I can't. Oh, well. Okay, so I'm either going to go with the drums or the monkey see, monkey do, but I don't have that extra picture of him. So that's a little frustrating. But the drums, because my husband has... this is 2004. This is in the back. But he has really become like such a drummer. And he goes and plays with the band. And so he grew up playing the keyboards, and like being a drummer is like his new thing. But he's actually become very good at it. So he's learning something new. I'm always like, that's so improv. But it is. He's like, that's awesome. He's doing something new and you know, exercising a different part of his brain. And oh, come on. I really thought I had a picture of him in the drums. All I can find are Best Laid Plans, right? Well, and it's funny because there's no plans here. So that's, I seriously thought I had some drumming pictures. So I'm actually just going to look in one more album. If I can't find them, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll figure it out. Oh, I might have another idea if I can't do that. Okay. So pulled another storage binder, like the next chronological one back, because I could have sworn that I printed up some drum pictures. But, you know, maybe I didn't. I need to become more consistent about printing out my pictures. Yeah, I guess maybe not. That's so weird. Bizarre. All right. Well, So both of those concepts are completely scrapped, but I'm going to save these out because I know, so I'm going to put these back into my kind of current stuff because I know the stories that I want to tell about those photos now. So those can just be saved out and I will tell those stories sometime soon when I can find those other pictures, if I am so inclined. Okay. So let's go with a different concept. One of those concepts is, so here's the page, I'm still sticking with that, is I have, my daughter is 8 years old now, and she started out this winter season as a Florida girl who never saw snow. And then we went to Snowfest in downtown St. Petersburg, and she saw like fake snow, and she like threw snowballs at me, and we had lots of fun. And then took her skiing, and she became like such a little skier. So I'm just gonna pull out some random Snowfest pictures. And then a picture from one of the ski trips. And these are pictures that I know I want to crop down. And one of the things that happened when we went to Snowfest is we showed up late. This was so sad. And they were like bulldozing the snow away. So she didn't even get to like go down the little hill that they set up. It was very disappointing, and she was a really good sport about it. Okay. So I found some pictures that I know I'm going to kind of crop down. And this is like almost an intentionally poorly shot picture because it's one that I know I can cut up. Okay, now I just need a picture of her in the snow looking like a snow ski queen, and then we'll be good. Then I'll have the pictures that I need for the layout. So I'd kind of like to find one of the two of us, maybe. I've got this one. I've used this one before, but I printed up a couple of them because I thought it was so good. I like that one. And here's one of the two of us. I like that one. I like this one. She's holding like a ginormous snowball. So it could be okay. Here's one more of us together in the snow. Okay. So there we go. I don't know how many minutes we're in, but I have my page down that I've made before. now I have my photos and I have the idea of the story I want to tell. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm not going to use all of these photos on the page, but I'm just going to sort of pick the ones that I think are going to tell the story. And my process is usually lay down the photos, put the embellishments on, and then journal at the end. It's not always my process, but that's typically what my process is. So I sort of want to use this one because I was just talking to you about that one. So I'm just going to cut it by hand. Another concept in improvisational comedy is, like, it's okay if you make a mistake because then you can work with that. So like hand cutting photos and having them not be perfect is cool. That's good. But sometimes with your imperfect stuff, you'll come up with better things than you would if everything was like all thought out and perfect. So kind of using this middle space, and I kind of do want to include this part about how that was so disappointing that she didn't get to, like how the bulldozers were there. But I don't know if I can really get that whole photo in. I don't know. Okay, this is like a little bit wonky, but part of the other process is, part of the way to keep yourself kind of moving creatively is to not be totally concerned with the result. That sort of freaks some people out. Alright, kind of like the placement of that. Even though I don't totally love it, I love it for these purposes. But it probably wouldn't be like exactly how I put this layout together. It's a little weird, honestly. I almost think I want to, how I was saying, oh, you should fully commit. I'm going to switch. Because I think this might be better placement, maybe. Maybe. It's just not. That's so sad. This makes for a pretty bad video. Okay, maybe like that. Okay, I think I got it. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. I got it. I sort of want to use a straight edge even after I went through all of that saying, oh, you can just use willy-nilly. Kind of wish these are a little bit straighter now. That's okay. Okay, so here we go. how disappointment kind of led. We went to the Snow Fest and we were so excited, and then disappointment. But then we went skiing and she loved it, which I wasn't sure she was going to. And on top of that, she got 2 trips instead of 1. So these, I think, are the 2 different mountains. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's it, actually. I still want to use, I'm going to use my trimmer. I want clean lines, but that's okay. This is the trimmer that I use. It's from Office Depot. I call it a guillotine trimmer, and I've had it forever and I love it. Okay. So I decided that I didn't really want it to be super improv. Be a little okay, so we've got like 3 7/8. Oh, there was my timer. Okay, so I'm a little under 3 and a little under 4. That's my dimension of that photo. And then, see, I've gone over time, but that's okay. You know why? Because now I'm going, which is half the battle. You know, like just starting is sometimes like the big ordeal. And now I have started. So it's okay that this is going to take longer than I anticipated, because now I know where I'm going and I know what to do to finish. So that's cool. But like if you went into it thinking like, oh, I don't know, or it's going to take me an hour, or it's going to take, I don't know. If you just, I guess what I'm trying to say is just start. And then the rest will come. You don't need to have like super duper plan to it. If you just start, then stuff will happen. Alright. So now I have my more uniformly cut pictures. I'm putting this ginormous dangerous thing away. Okay, I mean, I don't have the chat open, but if you've just joined me, I'm doing some what I call improvisational scrapbooking, which is where you just start with no plan and you just go. So that's what I'm up to. If you are listening, I recommend that you probably be working along, doing your own thing, because this is not always like exceptionally awesome. I don't think the quality of the video is awesome, and I also, you know, because it's a process, it's I'm trying to say, it may not be interesting all the time, but I'll try to keep chatting. Okay, so now this is the adhesive I use. The old like little tabbies. So we end up with these tabs all over the house, and sometimes I'm pretty careful about putting them right in the trash, but other times I just throw them on the floor, and my son comes in and he loves to vacuum, so it works out well. And he's like, Mom, you must be working really hard, because I just vacuumed your scrapbooking room like 2 days ago and I have to vacuum it again. Oh, that's so funny. I just talked about how boring this video was, and I had like a viewer left. Sorry. That's okay. And that's another improv concept right there. Don't worry about being interesting. And so if an improvisational comedian, which I am not, I just took the class, so I'm not super funny. But one like mistake that a lot of improv comedians make is they try to be funny. Or if you try to be interesting, then you won't be. Or, you know what I mean? Like if you go in with a one-liner in an improv sketch, then it will flop. It will not be funny. What you have to do is just like fully commit and then be like totally into whatever you're doing. So if it's not interesting to your audience, that's not like totally, like it is, but it's not your primary concern. Your primary concern is like fully committing to your process and then just continuing with it. Of course, if you are never concerned with your audience, then, you know, you would not be very successful. But for the part of learning and like jump-starting your creative process, do not be concerned with if you're any good or if you're funny or interesting or whatever. So here's my page so far. So I know that in the layout that I scrapbooked, they had just a big picture in this space, in this yellow space. So I have deviated from that sketch, but that's okay. It got me started. So my pictures are down. I sort of know what my story is. I'm not sure what my title is yet. I'm not sure what embellishments I'm going to use yet. But I know this part of it's done. So the next kind of thought process for me is, where am I going to do the writing on this? And also, what kind of embellishments? What's maybe my title? Sometimes the title comes at the end. Sometimes the title is related to the journaling. Sometimes. Alright, so I went to a scrapbooking yard sale a couple months ago, and I have a bunch of the stuff right here. So I'm just going to pull out some of the embellishments and letters. I just put them in this little, like a little storage thingy. Got some letters. Let's just write snow. Snow day. How about snow day? That would be cute. Snow days. Oh, it only has one S. Oh, it has two S. Two S's. Snow days. I'll put it up here. D-A-Y-S. Dun, dun, dun. Where's the... I think I have the full alphabet there because I don't even have the D. But that's okay. I'm going to make the D out of an upside down P. There we go for improv. D-A-Y-S. Now I just need like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. We don't have all of the letters here. So I just need enough for snow days. I think I got it. Even without a full alphabet. Like without playing without a full deck. That's funny. It's not that funny, is it? Snow days. Okay, so the spacing isn't, not loving the spacing on this. I'm gonna like extend this out just a little. And that's where it's nice if something is kind of repositionable, so you can move it around without the giant amount of pre-planning of where you're going to put everything. But I do like to just stick the things down as I go. I know a lot of people will kind of like hem and haw with the layout of their page, and they'll, you know, I don't know, I put this here, put this there, maybe I should put it over here, and you know, you spend a lot of time doing that, and I've done that, so I'm not, I get it. But this process prevents you from doing that, so you just have to keep making your choices and moving on to the next choice, so you're continually moving forward. Does that make sense? Snow days. Yeah, I don't even have the letters. I wonder if the rest of them are in there. I bought these letters at a scrapbooking yard sale, so I do not know if they're complete. So there we go, snow days, right? Let's see if I have the rest of those letters. Huh, I do. Haha. So I could have used the other D, but I'm not going back to switch it. And so I kind of just maybe want to put the year. I like putting the year on because like you think you're going to remember that forever, but you know what? You just don't. So it's nice to have the year down. I like that. So the first set of pictures were taken in 2011 and the second set were 2012. So I'm just using the eyes for the 11. I want some kind of a something in the middle there. Maybe just this blue thing here. 11. I don't know. It just doesn't. I know what to do. Okay. So oftentimes, if you are limited with limited supplies or limited whatever time, then you come up with better solutions. So what I want to say, I wanted something kind of in the in-between, but I don't have it. So I'm just going to use like the part of the letter sticker page that isn't being used. And then I'm going to write on it, winter of. Like this. I think this is going to work. Okay, and to test, like, is the Sharpie gonna smudge, I just use this on this part and then kind of see, and it didn't, so I'm gonna use that winter of. Okay, so I just put winter of 2011, and then I have that space in between the 11 and the 12. So I kind of want to deal with that too. I'm just going to do that same thing, just so that's like a block. That's not big enough. Just really wish they had like some kind of punctuation mark, but they don't. But maybe I can just use some other letters. Maybe like, yeah. So I have these letters. I'm going to use an I, but I'm going to use it like a dash instead of a. I don't know. It's not perfect, but it'll work. So there we are. Snow days, winter of 2011 through 12. I think you're seeing that backwards maybe. And now, time for journaling, and then maybe an embellishment or two, and I'll be done with that page. And then that's awesome. Then I can feel like, hey, I did something today. So I usually like to not be talking or listening to anything while I'm doing my journaling. But I will take a picture of my page. I will put it up on my blog. My blog is a typepad blog. It's kissandtellscrapbooking.typepad.com, and I'll put the page up shortly. That's all for today. Have fun scrapbooking. Bye.